Maido, hi there Japan fans. Today's show we're going to talk about being an imposter when presenting. Present, master shimashou. This is the 5th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Tokyo, Japan, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. My new book, in Japanese, Za Eigyo, is now available on Amazon. Become a better speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentations Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 294. Today we're talking about imposter syndrome when presenting. Self-awareness, self-belief, self-direction, self-discipline. There are a host of these self aspects to who we are, and often related to who we are not. If you grew up with a silver spoon firmly in your mouth, went to expensive, exclusive private schools, extensively traveled abroad with your parents at a young age, and enjoyed the summers at your Swiss boarding school in your youth, that is terrific. The chances are strong that your self-belief is strong and your expectations even higher. A lot of things have coalesced to help you be successful in life, and along the way, you have been in an environment where being able to speak in front of others has been as natural as learning how to swim well. Probably, for most of us, me included, this sounds like exceptional skill in parent selection. If the path in life has been rocky or even just ordinary, none of these advantages have been a factor in your life and career progression. Maybe you're able to pull yourself up by your own efforts and have achieved some success to the degree that you are now someone who is asked to speak in front of others. Or maybe you're an ordinary mortal, but through some strange fate, the firm wants you to speak to your team or the broader organization or even in public to industry groups. I now own my own company outright, have a PhD in political science and national relations. I'm a 6 dan in traditional karate. And so you might be tempted to think, nah, he wouldn't be someone who suffers from imposter syndrome. I wish that was true. You may know this saying. You can take the boy out of Brisbane, but you can't take the Brisbane out of the boy. I've spent over half my life living in Japan now, but I am still that boy from Brisbane with the poor parent selection abilities. In my case, I do a lot of public speaking. I also release 6 podcasts a week, of which 5 are what I write, based on my own experience and, the curriculum from Dale Carnegie. I'm constantly putting myself out there into the world publicly, exposing myself to judgment and critique. How do you go from where you came from to now positioning yourself as an expert? This is where the imposter syndrome raises its ugly head. Who do you think you are to be putting all this stuff out into the ether? Says the voice of doubt deep inside your head. Perfectionism is a big blocker for all of us. We feel because we are still incomplete, not perfect, we don't have the right to stand up in front of others and speak about our topic. We worry about being judged and found short. This is the highest hurdle to clear. Rather than perfectionism, we need to be thinking in terms of relativities. There's an old saying that the one-eyed man is king in the kingdom of the blind. That is us. We have some small extra degree of concrete knowledge or experience, which may be more than what most people have accumulated, but it is certainly not absolute. We don't claim to have absolute knowledge on any subject. We note that we are perpetual students of the subject and are treading the path still on the learning journey. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. The show today is being brought to you on the 24th of June. We'll have our previews. On the 25th, we're doing the Dale Carnegie course. That's the flagship course. Goes through a number of things. A bit of an omnibus course in a way. It covers stress management. It covers leadership. It covers communication skills. It covers people skills. Those sorts of things. Very good all round. Hits a number of areas we all need to improve in. On the 12th of July. We'll be doing our previews again. And on the 23rd of July, we'll be having our professional ongoing education course. Check out our website at www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value for you there. Now, to do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, there are over 1,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, which is the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Now, this is freeing. If we are speaking in front of others and we discover we have a bona fide expert on our subject in the audience, we shouldn't feel scared, diminished, or that we need to be competitive with them. We should celebrate the fact they are attending and ask their views on some pertinent aspects of the subject, in particular an area where they may have substantially more knowledge or experience than we have. Here is a surprise. Your audience will appreciate their attendance and your ability to have them share. They will not stand up and start denouncing you as a charlatan, a fraud, and someone who should be run out of town on a rail. We all understand that none of us have perfect knowledge on any subject. that we are all in the process of progressing. And when you freely admit this, there is no target to attack. In karate, we call this tai sabaki, a movement to the side which robs the attacker of a hard target. All they wind up doing is striking thin air because you are no longer there directly in front of their blow. When presenting, we do the same. We slip off to the side and admit we don't have perfect knowledge. We acknowledge the expertise or experience of members of the audience, and we keep our brand intact. The golden rule is never argue with the members of the audience, except they may have a different view. Allow them to express it and let the audience make up their own mind about the point at issue. If you become obstinate, then you are getting into the perfectionism zone, and you will always be found wanting. The hardest attack is when the person cherry-picks something you said, takes it out of context or misrepresents it, trying to make you look stupid. This happened to me during a clubhouse discussion on selling in Japan. I should have handled it better, but the sudden public opposition to my opinion released a fog in my brain. So it wasn't as sharp as it should have been. I did have the perfect rejoinder about an hour later, but it was way too late by then. I did beat myself up about that, but then I realized, hey, I did have the rejoinder for the next time, and I'll be ready to go in the future. If we have integrity and admit we don't have perfect knowledge or complete experience, we are in a good position to stand up in front of others and offer what we know. If we have the humility to allow diverse views and opinions, we don't present any target for someone to hit. If we honestly face our own limitations, then we will interact with others in a manner which invites trust and acceptance. If we are supremely nervous about giving this presentation, then we are never, ever going to betray any sign of that. Keep it to yourself is the best policy. No one will notice because they all want us to succeed, and we will. Thank you for joining the Presentations Japan series. If you got value from today's show, spread the love around and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you have learned today, use it, and go out there and become a presentations legend. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.